The world is full of mysteries, stories that send shivers down our spines and make us question everything we thought we knew. Some are dismissed as folklore, others as hoaxes, but a select few linger in our collective consciousness, defying easy explanation. The tale of Travis Walton is one such mystery, an alleged alien encounter that continues to fascinate and divide over 4 decades later. In the heart of Arizona, far from the bright lights of the city, lies the Apache Sitgreaves National Forest. Vast and imposing, it's a place of rugged beauty, where towering pines cast long shadows and the silence is broken only by the whisper of the wind through the trees. It's a place where, for centuries, stories of strange lights and unexplained phenomena have been whispered around campfires, passed down from generation to generation. It was here, in November of 1975, that a group of loggers stumbled upon something extraordinary, something that would change their lives forever. Their story, if true, would challenge our understanding of the universe and our place within it. Their story is the story of Travis Walton, and it begins, as so many strange tales do, with an ordinary day that took a decidedly extraordinary turn. The sun was beginning its slow descent, casting long shadows across the forest floor, as Travis Walton and his crew of 6 fellow loggers made their way back from a hard day's work. The air was crisp with the scent of pine needles and damp earth, and the only sounds were the rumble of their truck and the distant calls of unseen birds. As their truck rumbled along the dirt road, a strange glow appeared in the distance, growing in intensity with each passing moment. It pulsed with an eerie, otherworldly light, illuminating the trees with an unnatural brilliance. The men had never witnessed anything like it, and a sense of foreboding began to settle over them. As the loggers rounded a bend in the road, a bright light illuminated the dark forest. Hovering silently above the forest floor was a massive, disc-shaped object. The truck screeched to a halt, its occupants thrown forward in their seats. Fear gripped their hearts as they stared in stunned silence. Travis, curiosity outweighing fear, stepped out of the truck. A beam of intense light shot out, enveloping Travis. He vanished entirely inside the craft. The craft shot upwards, disappearing into the night sky. The remaining men, frozen in terror, could only stare in disbelief at the spot where Travis had stood moments before. The silence of the forest was now heavy with dread, the air thick with the lingering hum of the departed craft. Panic seized them, a primal instinct to flee from the unknown. He jammed the truck into gear, tires spitting gravel as they lurched back onto the dirt road. The once familiar road seemed alien and menacing, the shadows taking on monstrous shapes. They were left with only questions, a chilling fear, and the gut-wrenching certainty that they had just witnessed something extraordinary. Confronting fear and uncertainty. Miles turned to hours as they sped through the darkness, fear giving way to dread. They had left Travis behind, alone at the mercy of whatever that craft had been. Guilt gnawed at them, a reminder of their helplessness. Reaching Snowflake, they pulled over, the engine cooling in the silence. The diner's harsh lights offered a fragile barrier against the forest's terrors. Inside they huddled, struggling to make sense of the impossible. Section 3. Doubts and Accusations. The investigation begins. The rising sun did little to dispel the sense of unease as the loggers and skeptical officers returned to the clearing. The air seemed to hold its breath, the only sound the crunch of their boots. The clearing offered no answers, only more questions. Skepticism was palpable, their eyes reflecting doubt. Whispers of hoax and mass hysteria began to circulate. Section 4. Whispers in the Wind. Local legends and unexplained phenomena. As days turned into weeks, the story of Travis Walton's disappearance spread far beyond the confines of Snowflake, Arizona. Newspapers across the country picked up the story, their headlines screaming of UFOs, alien abductions, and the unsettling possibility that we are not alone in the universe. Skeptics scoffed, offering up plausible explanations, weather phenomena, misidentified aircraft, elaborate hoaxes, but none could fully account for the missing man and the chilling consistency of the loggers' stories. The forest itself seemed to hold its breath, its secrets guarded by the whispering pines and the shadows that stretched long and deep in the twilight. Locals, their faces etched with a mixture of fear and fascination, shared tales of strange lights in the sky, unexplained disappearances, and whispered legends of beings not of this earth that had long haunted the region. The Apache Sitgreaves National Forest, once a place of rugged beauty and tranquil solitude, took on a new unsettling aspect, a place where the veil between reality and the unknown seemed perilously thin. The search for Travis Walton continued, but so too did the search for answers, for an understanding of the events that had transpired in that remote clearing, events that challenged our perceptions of reality and forced us to confront the possibility that the universe holds mysteries far stranger than we can imagine. Travis drifted back to consciousness, surfacing from a deep sleep. Disoriented with a ringing in his ears, he felt a wave of nausea. His vision cleared, revealing a dimly lit metallic corridor. The air was thick with the scent of ozone and something metallic. Panic surged as he remembered the blinding light. The sensation of being lifted off the ground overwhelmed him. He was no longer in the forest, no longer surrounded by the familiar Arizona wilderness. He was inside the craft, a prisoner. Their purpose unknown, their intentions terrifying. He tried to sit up to call for help, but his body refused. Strapped down, his limbs heavy and unresponsive, fear tightened its grip, amplifying his heart's frantic pounding. He was completely at their mercy, a specimen, a subject, his fate balanced on the edge of a knife. As his eyes adjusted, he realized he was not alone. Silhouetted against blinking lights, three figures stood, humanoid in form, their movements fluid and graceful, their bodies devoid of usual limitations. Terror rooted him to the spot, his mind screaming to run, helpless at the mercy of these creatures. They approached slowly, their movements silent and unnervingly graceful, their large black eyes fixed on him with unnerving intensity. Travis, his body rigid with terror, could only watch as they drew closer, his mind a maelstrom of fear and disbelief. Were these the beings who had piloted the craft, the architects of his abduction? As they drew closer, he could make out more details. Their skin, a pale, almost translucent gray. Their limbs elongated and slender, their hands tipped with long, thin fingers that flexed with a disturbing dexterity. There was an unsettling elegance to their movements, a sense of alien grace that did little to ease the terror that clawed at the edges of his mind. Time seemed to lose all meaning, stretching and contracting in ways he couldn't comprehend. He drifted in and out of consciousness, his dreams filled with strange, fragmented images. Each time he surfaced, he was met with the same scene, the cold, metallic room, the hum of unseen machinery. But as the days blended into an indistinguishable blur, a glimmer of hope ignited within him. The fear that had paralyzed him began to morph into a desperate need for freedom. To his surprise, the restraints suddenly released their grip. The exit, a shimmering portal of light, beckoned him forward, promising freedom. Days turned into weeks. The once vibrant autumn hues of the forest seemed to dim, mirroring the fading hope that gripped the small town of Snowflake. Travis Walton's disappearance cast a long shadow over the community, a palpable sense of unease settling over the once peaceful town. The forest, once a source of livelihood and recreation, now held a menacing silence. The loggers, their initial terror giving way to exhaustion, found themselves at the epicenter of media attention. The story of Travis Walton's alleged abduction spread like wildfire, capturing the nation's imagination. Reporters descended upon Snowflake, eager for any scrap of information. The community found itself divided. Some clung to hope, organizing search parties in the Apache Sitgreaves National Forest. Others, skeptical, shook their heads in disbelief. The disappearance became a national phenomenon, a Rorschach test of beliefs and fears. The truth seemed lost in the dense undergrowth of speculation and doubt. Despite the tireless efforts of law enforcement volunteers and even psychics drawn to the mystery, the search for Travis Walton yielded no answers. Days bled into weeks, each passing hour chipping away at the hope that lingered in the hearts of those who refused to give up. The forest, vast and unforgiving, seemed to hold its secrets close, its silence a deafening roar that drowned out the pleas of those desperate for answers. The initial flurry of activity surrounding the case gradually subsided, the urgency replaced by a grim acceptance that the trail had gone cold. Search parties, their numbers dwindling with each passing day, returned empty-handed, their faces etched with exhaustion and disappointment. The leads, once promising but ultimately fruitless, dried up, leaving investigators grappling with a case that defied logic and explanation. The lack of progress fueled the flames of doubt and suspicion. The loggers, their story already met with skepticism, found themselves facing increasing scrutiny, their every word analyzed for inconsistencies, their every move interpreted as a sign of guilt. The pressure mounted, threatening to crush them under the weight of accusations and the unbearable uncertainty surrounding the fate of their friend. The investigation, once a beacon of hope, now seemed like a cruel charade, a futile exercise in chasing shadows. The truth, elusive and ever-shifting, remained hidden, buried somewhere beneath the weight of speculation, the burden of grief, and the unsettling reality that some mysteries are simply never meant to be solved. The relentless glare of the media spotlight began to take its toll on the loggers. Their story, once a source of unity in the face of an unimaginable event, became a wedge that drove them apart. The pressure to provide answers, to satisfy the insatiable hunger of the public and the media, proved too much to bear. Inconsistencies in their accounts, initially attributed to shock and trauma, were now seized upon as evidence of a cover-up, their credibility crumbling under the weight of suspicion and doubt. Whispers of a hoax, present from the beginning, grew louder, fueled by the lack of concrete evidence and the increasingly fantastic nature of their claims. The loggers, once united by their shared experience, now found themselves pitted against each other, their bonds strained by suspicion, their loyalty tested under the relentless pressure of interrogation and public scrutiny. The media, sensing blood in the water, pounced on every discrepancy, every contradiction, their narratives shifting from objective reporting to sensationalized speculation. The loggers, once sympathetic figures caught in the grip of a terrifying ordeal, were now portrayed as opportunistic liars, their motives called into question, their characters assassinated in the court of public opinion. The truth, lost somewhere in the fog of accusations and counter-accusations, seemed further away than ever. The line between victim and perpetrator blurred, leaving behind a residue of doubt and suspicion that threatened to taint not only the loggers' lives, but also the memory of their missing friend. 5 long days had passed since Travis Walton's disappearance. 5 days of agonizing uncertainty, of fading hope, of whispers turning into accusations. Then, just as the embers of hope threatened to die out completely, a flicker of light pierced the darkness. The phone call came in the dead of night, the shrill ring shattering the heavy silence. Dwayne Walton, Travis's older brother, groggily answered the phone. The voice on the other end was faint, almost inaudible, a rasping whisper. "Travis?" Dwayne choked out, his voice hoarse with disbelief. The only response was a series of clicks and whirs, the sound of a connection breaking. It had been Travis's voice, he was sure of it, but where was he? He had to tell the others. Travis was alive. He was out there, somewhere, and they were going to find him. Miles away at a desolate gas station on the outskirts of Heber, Arizona, a lone figure stumbled out of the darkness, his hair matted with sweat and grime, eyes wide with fear and bewilderment. The gas station attendant watched, concerned. "You all right there, son?" he asked. The man's face was unmistakable. It was Travis Walton. "Call the police," Travis rasped. "Tell them I'm back." He collapsed, darkness enveloping him once more. The news of Travis Walton's return spread like wildfire, igniting a media frenzy that dwarfed even the initial wave of attention surrounding his disappearance. Reporters camped outside the hospital, their cameras flashing, their microphones thrust towards anyone who might have information about the missing 5 days. But Travis remained silent, lost in a haze of sedation and the lingering trauma of his ordeal. When he finally regained consciousness, his body racked with pain, his mind a jumbled mess of fragmented memories and terrifying images, he found himself facing a barrage of questions, a wall of skepticism and disbelief. Law enforcement officials, doctors, and even members of his own family struggled to reconcile the man lying in the hospital bed with the Travis they thought they knew. He was thinner, weaker, his eyes holding a haunted look that spoke of an experience beyond comprehension. His memories of the abduction were fragmented, disjointed, like pieces of a shattered mirror reflecting a horrifying, incomprehensible truth. He spoke of strange beings, of medical examinations, of a feeling of terror so profound it defied description. His story, met with a mixture of fascination and skepticism, divided the community and the nation. Some saw him as a hero, a living testament to the existence of extraterrestrial life. Others dismissed him as a fraud, a publicity seeker who had concocted an elaborate hoax. But amidst the controversy, one thing was clear. Travis Walton had returned a changed man, forever marked by an encounter that would haunt him and the world for years to come. A nation divided, the Travis Walton abduction and the UFO debate. The return of Travis Walton did little to quell the controversy surrounding his disappearance. If anything, it only intensified the debate, throwing the already simmering UFO controversy into the harsh glare of the national spotlight. The nation found itself divided, split between those who believed Walton's incredible story and those who dismissed it as an elaborate hoax. The Travis Walton abduction became a battleground for a larger cultural war, a clash between belief and skepticism. Science versus experience, the limits of proof and the power of belief. The Travis Walton case highlighted the tension between science and personal truth. Science demands proof, tangible evidence that can be tested and verified. But what happens when the evidence is elusive? Walton's story lacked the concrete evidence that science demands. No photographs, no physical samples, no independent witnesses. From a scientific standpoint, the case remained unproven. Yet for believers, the lack of proof did not diminish the power of his experience. They argued that the human mind is ill-equipped to grasp the full scope of reality. Walton's story held a deeper truth, a glimpse into a reality science was not yet ready to acknowledge. Section 3. The Enduring Legacy, Travis Walton and the Search for Truth. Decades have passed since that fateful night in the Apache Sitgreaves National Forest, but the story of Travis Walton continues to captivate and divide. The passage of time has done little to diminish the mystery, to provide definitive answers to the questions that have lingered for over 4 decades. Travis Walton, forever linked to his alleged abduction, has maintained his story throughout the years, even as the skeptics continue to cast doubt on his claims. He has undergone hypnosis, polygraph tests, and countless interviews, each time reaffirming the truth of his experience, the reality of his encounter with the unknown. The Travis Walton abduction, regardless of one's personal beliefs, stands as a testament to the enduring power of the unexplained, to the human need to make sense of a world that can often seem chaotic and unpredictable. It serves as a reminder that some mysteries may never be fully solved, that some truths may lie forever beyond our grasp. Whether you believe Travis Walton's story or dismiss it as an elaborate hoax, there's no denying the impact it has had on our collective consciousness. It has fueled countless debates, inspired books and movies, and forced us to confront the limits of our own understanding. The search for truth, for definitive proof of what did or did not happen that night in the forest, continues, a testament to the enduring power of the unknown and the unquenchable human thirst for knowledge, even in the face of uncertainty. Lingering mysteries and unresolved discrepancies. The Travis Walton abduction leaves us with more questions than answers. Despite time and scrutiny, certain aspects remain shrouded in mystery. Why Travis? What made this ordinary logger a target? Was it a cosmic roll of the dice, or did he possess some unique quality? The missing 5 days defy explanation. Where was Travis during those lost days? What experiences did he endure? His memories offer glimpses but fail to provide a complete picture. And what of the craft itself? Was it advanced extraterrestrial technology or something else entirely? The questions linger, a testament to the enduring power of the unknown. Section 2. A universe of possibilities, expanding our understanding of reality. The Travis Walton abduction reminds us of the vastness of the universe and our limited understanding. It challenges us to expand our perceptions and consider that reality may extend beyond our current knowledge. The universe is filled with wonders that dwarf our wildest imaginings. Billions of stars, each a potential island of life, stretch across the cosmos. Is it so difficult to imagine that we are not alone? The Travis Walton case forces us to confront the implications of such a possibility. It asks us to consider what it might mean to share the universe with other intelligent beings. It challenges us to expand our definition of life. The search for extraterrestrial life has gained increasing legitimacy in recent years. Each new discovery makes the possibility of finding life beyond Earth seem more like an inevitability. Our understanding of the universe is still in its infancy. Section 3. A Legacy of Wonder, the Enduring Allure of the Unknown. The enduring fascination with the Travis Walton abduction speaks to a deep-seated human need to explore the boundaries of our understanding, to grapple with the mysteries that lie beyond the realm of the known. It is this sense of wonder, this thirst for knowledge, that has driven us to explore the farthest reaches of our planet and to peer deep into the cosmos in search of answers. The stories we tell ourselves about the unknown reveal as much about ourselves as they do about the mysteries they seek to explain. They reflect our hopes, our fears, our deepest longings for connection and meaning. The Travis Walton abduction has become a part of our cultural mythology, reminding us that the universe is a place of infinite possibility.